Hello and welcome to the Basketball Addicts podcast. And today is going to be a fun one because today we're talking about last week's episode. So this is basically we had 16 teams get drafted last week. And you know what 16 sounds like to me? Sweet 16. So we're going to do a March Madness style Sweet 16 bracket. I ranked all of the teams off of a few glances. I didn't want to go too in depth because I don't want to choose the winners already. It's not like the one seed overall is going to win. There's no guarantees in that. But I ranked them. We ranked them 1 through 16. It's going to be a lot of fun. So basically, it's going to be March Madness style. So the 1's going to face the 16, the 8's are going to face the 9. It's the same format. So it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to figure out who goes to the Elite 8, who goes to the Final Four, who's the champions of this bracket. So it's going to be a lot of fun doing this. Yeah, and it's something that's going to be really enjoyable. And are you ready, Chris?
Yeah, let's get this on the road.
All right.
Ready to rock and roll.
So, our first matchup is going to be between our number 1 overall seed, which is you, Chris, versus our number 16 seed. And I'm going to intro the lineups and going to ask you guys who do you think is going to win before we start talking about it, breaking it down. So, Chris
number
has
1, baby.
Chris has Jamal Murray and Gilbert Arenas at the point guard, Jerry West, Donovan Mitchell, Devin Booker at the 2 guard. Small forward, he's got Kawhi, Devin Booker playing at small forward. Power forward, he's got AD, Bob McAdoo, Draymond Green. At center, he's got Wilt Chamberlain, and he's got AD rotating in as his backup center for some bench minutes. And the 16 seed is a guy named Rod. He's got Gary Payton and Dwayne Wade playing minutes at point guard. 2 guard, he's got Larry Hughes and Dwayne Wade playing the 2 guard. And the small forward, he's got DeAndre Hunter and Antoine Jameson. Power forward, he's got Julius Randle, Karl Malone. At center, he's got Anderson Varejao, Joakim Noah, and Moses Malone. He's got the Malone brothers. Fans, who do you think is going to win? So this is going to be Chris, you and I. I want to see who you think is going to win between you and a 16 seed. Let's see if you can get to the Elite 8. Why do you think your team's going to win, Chris?
Because I have the best team. I really took my time putting this team together.
Mm-hmm.
He has Larry. He don't have no stars. I have all stars. He has role players.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm sorry. I have Jamal Murray. Like, who's stopping that? Who's stopping Gilbert Arenas?
He's got Gary Payton at defensively for his point guard. That's pretty nice.
The thing is, though, that nobody's tall enough to go at Wilt. Wilt's a defensive monster down there. That's who I have as center. Nobody's going to be able to do that.
Malone's respectable. He's
for real. I mean, I'll give that. I'll give him respect for the Malones.
Yeah.
But other than that, I think my scoring ceiling is way higher than his, and then my defensive ceiling is high as well. So it wouldn't be close in my opinion. I think I would go 4-0.
I couldn't agree with you more. I couldn't agree.
It'd be a clean sweep.
You have way too much rev in the engine, too much power, offensive power with Jamal Murray, Gilbert Arenas, Jerry West, Donovan Mitchell. It's too much. It's too much for a team like this. And it would be different if you didn't have guys who could defend Karl Malone and Moses Malone. But you have Wilt Chamberlain, Anthony Davis, and Draymond Green rotating as your big. So there's no issues there at all. Like, all of them are phenomenal. All those guys can win Defensive Player of the Year guys. So, yeah, I think matchup-wise, I think you're the first one to get the Elite 8. You're going to Elite 8. Yeah.
Number 1, baby. If y'all remember from last year, I got screwed. So,
hey!
number 1.
The fans chose my team, Chris. So, they chose my team.
Hey, what did they know? I'm just kidding.
No, your team's really good this year. It's going to be tough to beat.
Yeah.
All right, so the next matchup, I want you guys to try to figure out who you think is going to win between the 9 and the 8 seed to see who's going to play Chris next round. And 9 seed is Lim Jim. He has Drew Holiday, Ben Simmons, Lonzo Ball, Jimmy Butler. He has Lonzo Ball and Ben Simmons rotating at the 2. Jason Tatum and Brandon Ingram is a nice small forward rotation. Pascal Siakam and Brandon Ingram as a backup power forward. He's got Kareem, Ben Wallace, and Rudy Gobert at the center position. And he's facing We has Derrick Rose, LaMelo Ball, Tyrese Halliburton. At the 2 guard, he's got Klay Thompson, Tyrese Halliburton at the 2. At small forward, he's got AK-47. Yes, that's Andre Karolinko. Cade Cunningham because he needed some size there. At power forward, he's got Greek freak Giannis Antetokounmpo and Tim Duncan as his backup. And at center, he's got Tim Duncan starting and Alonzo Mourning as his backup. So they're all rotating. It's a 3-man rotation at the big. So I want you guys to decide who you think is going to win, and we'll explain why we think which team's going to win. So, Chris, after listening to those teams, who do you think is going to win?
That's tough.
It's really good. This is a really close matchup.
That's going 7. Either way, that's going 7.
Yeah.
Giannis is a difference maker.
Yes, he is.
I think that what happened here is that he has too many old school centers. So the modern day centers power forward mix is going to bring all those centers out. Like, I think that Lim Jim wins this because he can stretch the floor in a way that we can't. Because he's gonna have, all his stuff is going to be internal. It's going to be all inside. But he's going to bring. Giannis can defend, but I don't think that you're going to be able to. You can't. Ben Wallace is on an island out there, especially with the ball handling that Jason Tatum and Brandon Ingram bring to the table. He's going to be on an island.
Are you talking about switches?
Yeah, I'm talking about like on a switch like that. That's where it might, because Giannis, like I said, can come out. He can go out, but everybody else is going to be like, go ahead.
I think strategically, I don't think they would switch with Kareem.
They should.
I think they would have Kareem drop with D Rose, because D Rose is not like a huge threat to strap it on you. At least that's what I would be doing. I'd have him in drop coverage against this team, unless Klay Thompson's the ball.
You got a lot of old school centers though, like who can't come out. Like if they get pulled out, it's over.
Yeah,
cooked.
That's true. But I mean, Tim Duncan and Alonzo Mourning are going to do much better. They're going to let him better, but it's like the same issue, I guess.
Yeah.
I guess neither team's got that point guard to really expose this.
Yeah.
Like Klay Thompson's, he's a strapper, but he's not the kind of guy that's going to be like, running pick and rolls and stuff like that and being like super dynamic.
But he comes off the pick a little bit because he's a catch and shoot guy. But who does we have as shooting guard again?
For who? For Lim Jim?
For we.
Okay. We's got D Rose, Klay Thompson, AK-47. He's got Tyrese Halliburton and LaMelo Ball rotating in the bench, and he has Cade rotating
LaMelo?
bench. Yeah. He has him coming off the bench. Tyrese Halliburton's a really big player in this team because they need his shooting. So he's going to get 20 minutes off the bench. He has Cade
And then wait, so
well.
who does Lim Jim has as shooting guard then?
Lim Jim's got Jimmy Butler and Lonzo Ball rotating. And he's got Drew Holiday and Lonzo Ball rotating.
See, I thought it was the other way around. I thought Lim Jim had Klay. That's why I was like, oh, that's going to be a problem. I'm actually rolling with we now. I'm rolling with we.
You're rolling with we?
Yeah. I'm thinking we's taking it. If I had to choose, because wait, we has Kareem, right? Or am I mixing them up again?
Lim Jim has Kareem. Lim Jim has Drew Holiday, Jimmy Butler, Jason Tatum, Pascal, Kareem. We's got D Rose, Klay, AK-47, Greek Freak, Tim Duncan.
Because actually, Giannis is a difference maker, but also Kareem is a difference maker. Who's guarding Kareem? He can make his shot from anywhere.
It's true
because he he's mastering the sky hook. The sky hook is the most dangerous move in history of basketball because he can hit that from anywhere, and it's always good. It's an automatic 2 points.
This is a heck of a matchup because they both have similar issues where neither one of them has like enough spacing where I just want to choose one team. Because D Rose is not a great 3-point shooter. AK-47 is not that great. Klay Thompson is special, but same issue for Lim Jim. You have Jimmy Butler and Kareem attacking the basket, but Pascal's not a 3-point shooter. Drew Holiday's average. Jason Tatum's special, but like it's a tough like 2000s type, two teams playing like 2000s 1990s basketball, and it's interesting to see which team's going to win. I feel like one thing I gotta say about Lim Jim is the combination of Drew Holiday, Jimmy Butler, Pascal Siakam, and Kareem defensively is something that needs to be scary, because Pascal Siakam, like you want to talk about top 5 guys that can guard Giannis in the league right now, like he comes up on the list. And you know what I mean? Jimmy Butler is going to be guarding Klay Thompson. Drew Holiday is guarding D Rose. So it's one of those matchups where all their great defensive players are against all the other team's great offensive players. because we doesn't have a good small forward that can score, but but we also has AK-47 to guard Jason Tatum. So it kind of goes back and forth where it's tough. Klay Thompson can guard Jimmy Butler. Tim Duncan was a good defender in his prime. Like, D Rose is probably the weakest defender as a starter, but he's not like super terrible because he's athletically gifted. So it's these two teams are built similarly, have similar issues, and it's extremely tough.
Yeah, because if you just had like that point guard that could facilitate, then I would go with the team that has Klay and Giannis because they know how to work around that. You know what I mean? And then, but if you're saying it's a 1990s, 2000s type of matchup, the main factor in all those teams was the big.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the big matchup is crazy. Like, you have Tim Duncan, Lonzo Mourning, and Kareem. It's just like, I mean, like I said, Kareem go get his buckets no matter what. But then if they kind of cancel out because you have those three centers. So then you look at the guard matchup. Klay can't get off because it's no spacing.
It's true. And there's Giannis can be a really good passer, but there's no I guess Tim Duncan can be a nice screener. They might run some off-ball stuff. It's going to be interesting. Because it feels like this team is just it's two tough teams. It's two teams built similarly. I feel like Jason Tatum is where things get interesting because I feel like I really trust Jason Tatum to drop 25. You know what I mean? Like it's. When you pair that with Kareem and Jimmy, Jimmy, we just watch him do some crazy stuff. Those Jimmy, Jason Tatum, and Kareem, I feel like could drop 70 in this game combined. Yeah, and that's where things get interesting.
You're right, but where BI is with Jason Tatum, right? That's their guard, that's their small forward. I'm going with Lim Jim. That's what I was saying before. I was like, they're going to pull those bigs out, and then there's nothing they can do. Because I think their scoring ceiling, just like, it's not on the level of mine, but their scoring ceiling is high, especially when they add Kareem into that mix.
Uh-huh.
They just have too much scoring-wise. But it could go either way, though. But it's definitely going matchup. 7. It's definitely going 7. That's definitely a 7.
I agree. I think Lim Jim's going to win as well. So he's going to face you in the Elite 8. It's going to be a tough matchup, Chris. Definitely a tough matchup.
I think my Wilt can stop Kareem a little bit.
We'll talk about it later. We got to go through the first round first.
Yeah.
All right, guys. The next matchup is between Wally, which is the 4 seed, which is basically the number 4, number 1 seed. And then he's facing the 13th seed, which is Nathan. So Wally has CP3, Jason Kidd, Zach LaVine, T-Mac rotating in at backup shooting guard and starting small forward. Sean Marion to take all the minutes as the high minute small forward since T-Mac's playing 2 guard as well. Power forward Chris Webber and Patrick Ewing. At center he's got Hakeem and Patrick Ewing. So he's got those 3 rotating. And for Nathan he's got Oscar Robertson, Rondo, Chris Mullin, David Thompson, Bernard King, Peja Stojakovic, John Collins. Peja Stojakovic is backup power forward. Nikola Jokic and John Collins as the backup center. So those are the 2 teams. So who do you think is going to win? You guys fans? So Chris and I are going to talk about it now.
What was the first person's team? No, what was his name? It was Wally, right?
Wally.
Or Nathan. Wally wins this. I have Wally winning it.
I think when you have John Collins getting so many minutes in this game where we're talking about all-time greats, that's not good.
You also don't have a center.
Nikola Jokic. It's Nikola Jokic.
But he doesn't have a backup. He's gonna be in he's gonna be in for 48 minutes of pain, and you could switch those centers out on the other side. I forgot who's over there, but it's gonna be terrible.
Hey, and Hakeem's a really bad matchup for Jokic because Hakeem's gonna just dance around Jokic. Jokic has cement.
Hakeem and Ewing, that's just power.
Yeah.
Power
I couldn't agree with you more. This Wally team is a deserving 1 seed, and they slap it. And maybe
how many games?
5. I'm gonna go
4 or 5.
I'm gonna go 5.
You think they can get 1?
Yeah, I think when you have Oscar and Rondo and all the shooting they have, I could see Peja, Chris Mullins getting hot 1 game.
Okay.
We'll give
it 5.
Yeah,
we'll give it 5.
All
4-1.
right. All right, fans, let's see who you guys think is going to win this matchup before we start breaking it down. The 12 seed Reed has Steph Curry, Russell Westbrook, James Harden, DeMar DeRozan, Paul Pierce, DeMar DeRozan as the backup small forward as well, Zion Williams, Detlef Schrempf, which is a 90s player played on the Supersonics, Bill Russell, Dikembe Mutombo, versus Trent, who's got LeBron James, Grant Hill rotating at point guard, Allen Iverson and Manu at the 2 guard. He's got Melo and Joe Johnson and rotating at small forward. He's got Joe Johnson and Grant Hill rotating at power forward. He's got David Robinson and Ralph Sampson at the center positions. A great matchup.
Gosh.
Chris, this is a really good team. Chris, who do you think will win?
First off, I'm saying it's going 7. It's going 7.
You think this is going 7?
I think it's going to go 7.
Wow.
Because it depends on how you look at it. Like with me, how I looked at it with LeBron and Grant Hill, I think that's like a nice playmaking, small, like a point forward duo. I think it's like a nice point forward duo.
Yes.
I think that gives you all the playmaking you need. But I think that, and then their scoring ceiling is high with Melo and the other guard. But then on the other side, I don't know why his name immediately escapes me as soon as you say it. On the other side, the other team,
Reed.
Is it we are? Oh,
Reed. Good job. Yeah.
Reed. Yeah, his scoring ceiling is high as well, but I don't think he has the defensive prowess and the playmaking to match up.
Yeah, I think this is 4 games. And then the reason
4 because
why
of LeBron?
The reason why is because the reason why I looked at this team and I was like, man, this team has a chance to beat like a lot of people and go really far, is because when you break it down like this, okay? Allen Iverson and Steph Curry. Steph Curry's got to guard AI. Okay, so you got 48 minutes of Braun, Grant Hill, Melo, Joe Johnson, and those 4 guys rotating at 3 positions. How are you guarding them with James Harden? Who's James Harden guarding? This is what makes this team so gosh darn tough. Is because even if you have Zion, everybody else on the floor is 6'8", 6'9", and LeBron James was that guy defensively. Melo's a big human being. Joe Johnson's a big human being. Grant Hill was athletic. Like this, and Joe Johnson's also a good passer as well, so they're really good at passing. They got all the spacing in the world for Braun and AI. And you on top of that, you have 2 post-dominant, like David Thompson and Ralph Sampson should scare the poo out of people. And even though I love Bill Russell's only 6'9". David Robinson is 7 foot, and as bulky as he is and athletic as he is, I think it's going to give him issues. I think it's going to give him real problems. It's a bad matchup. One thing that Reed's got going for him is Bill Russell could kind of be what Draymond Green is on the Warriors and do the off-ball stuff with Steph. But I just think even if Zion gets to the rim, David Robinson's at the rim, Ralph Sampson's at the rim. That's 7'3". Maybe people might not know Ralph Sampson that well. He's 7'3", 7'2", and he was like that guy for a minute with him and Hakeem. They went to the NBA Finals in like 1984, and they beat Magic Johnson's Lakers one year with Kareem, James Worthy, and Magic, and Byron Scott. Like that team was really good. Like having him as a backup center, it's ridiculous. The center combo. This team's tough. I'm saying in 5, Trent wins.
I would say in 6, but yeah, that's fair. I'm still going with Trent. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I feel like this is definitely the right choice. The 1 and 2 seed are gonna do battle in the Elite 8, and this one. This
because what it boils down to really between these 2 teams is because I think they both have very high scoring ceilings, right? But I think that the defense part is what's going to break the other team.
Yeah. That team's perfectly built for Braun because Braun's gonna have spacing and Braun has scores. Like that completely negates. Like Melo's like a perfect Melo Joe Johnson. That's a scary combo with him.
Melo's a ball stopper.
LeBron needs a ball stopper that can score though.
Yeah.
That's kind of what Kyrie's role was. All right, you ready to go to the next one?
Yeah.
All right, fans, you guys get to decide who you think is going to win between the 3 matchup and the 14 seed. And the 3 seed is Jason, this random person named Jason. He's got Magic Johnson and Penny Hardaway at point guard. Man, that sounds scary. At 2 guard, he's got Trae Young playing 38 minutes because he said he needed some 3-point shooting, and Joe Dumars. Small forward, got Paul George, Jaylen Brown. Power forward, he's got Dirk, Tom Chambers. At center, he's got Joel Embiid and DeMarcus Cousins. And Pablo has Steve Nash and Tony Parker at point guard. He's got Kobe and Mitch Richmond at two guard. Dr. J and Kobe as the backup small forward. He's got Horace Grant and Bob Lanier at power forward. And Bill Walton and Bob Lanier at the center position. So who do you guys think is going to win? All right, and Chris and I are going to decide who we think is going to win. Who do you think is going to win this matchup?
All right, I'm just going to count to 3 and we say it at the same time, okay?
1, 2,
1, 2, 3.
Jason.
All right, there we go.
I'm running him off the floor.
It's okay. Yeah, that's no, okay. We waving the white flag for Paolo.
like, there's a clear talent gap there. It's just too much. Sorry, Pablo.
1, 2, 3. Jason. Okay, 4. Jason in 4. And 3 because they give up the third. Because they give up the 4th game. It's just too much.
Exactly. Pablo's a good Kanye West album, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Life of Pablo. Yeah.
All right, you ready to go to the next one? See who's going to face me next round. All right, so fans, you guys can decide again who you think is going to win between this matchup. Point guard Noah's got Bob Cousy, Malcolm Brogdon. 2 guards got Ray Allen and Malcolm Brogdon as the backup 2 guard. Small forward, he's got Alex English and Ray Allen as the backup small forward. Power forward, he's got Kevin McHale and Jaren Jackson Jr. And at center, he's got Shaq and Kevin McHale rotating as a backup center. And then the next team is Saul, who's the number 2 seed in this bracket. It's Luka Doncic, Mike Bibby. Shooting guards got Clyde Drexler and Elgin Baylor. Small forwards got KD, Ron Artest. Power forwards got Rasheed Wallace and Dennis Rodman. And at centers got Dwight Howard and Bill Laimbeer. Chris, I mean, you guys figure out who you think is going to win between this matchup. Chris and I are going to choose 2. Who do you think?
Oh, gosh.
It's good?
This is a good matchup.
Shaq makes things tough.
Yeah. I think it'll go 6. I can see 6. I don't think 7. I think 6. Because I'm thinking that's a good matchup though. It's not bad. Luka and Mike Bibby.
Yeah.
Dang, who do they have for the guards on the other team?
On Noah's team, it's Bob Cousy rotating with Malcolm Brogdon, Ray Allen. Those 3 rotating.
It's like his team is good at the top, and then as you go down, it's like, what happened?
Yeah, his bench sucks.
Yeah.
He drafted Andre Robertson with one of his picks.
Yeah. I want to go with. I'm sorry. What was the second team's name?
Sal.
At least Sal. I will go with Sal. KD. I think that KD matchup is crazy. I think KD's gonna destroy half that team because, you have the playmaking with Bob Cousy. Don't get me wrong. You have the passing ability, the playmaking. He's gonna see the floor in ways you probably can't imagine. Ray Allen's gonna see the. Not Ray Allen. You have Ray Allen or Rondo.
He has Bob Cousy and Brogdon and Ray Allen. Those 3 rotating.
And Ray Allen, he's gonna see Ray Allen. Ray Allen's gonna go off. They have the spacing for it. I think that the Shaq matchup, that's really all they really have over there.
Yeah,
and
they have the
KD
shooting.
Is gonna be too much. Yeah.
Yeah, I think what I really, really like about Saul is Luka Doncic, Clyde Drexler, and KD, and Rasheed Wallace. Because Rasheed Wallace, KD, and Luka give Clyde spacing to do his work. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Athletic. He's like a poor man's Michael. That's the easiest way to explain if you don't know him that well. Yeah. And Luka having Dwight Howard, man, that's going to be Lob City over there with those 2. So that's going to be a good combination. Mm-hmm. I agree with you. I would say in 5, but we both agree that Sal's going to win this one.
Yeah.
He's going to face me next round. He's going to give me a tough time in the Elite 8. All right, we're going to head to the number 2 overall seed, the second best 1 seed, and a heck of a team. And we're going to see who you think is going to win between that seed and the next team, the team he's facing in the first round. And Pascal is that team. He's got Damian Lillard, Scottie Pippen rotating as a backup point guard. Michael Jordan, George Gervin as his backup. Scottie Pippen at small forward. Rashard Lewis getting 20 minutes bulk as his backup small forward. Blake Griffin at the point power forward. He's got Karl Anthony Towns as the backup power forward. He's got Cat getting 28 minutes at center and Yao Ming as his backup center. He's a stacked team. The team he's facing is point guard got John Morant, Tiny Archibald. Two guards got John Havlicek and Jaws backup shooting guard. Small forward got Reggie Miller and Tobias Harris. Power forward got Pau Gasol and Sean Kemp. And the center's got Bam Adebayo and Pau as the backup center. Who do you think's going to win, Chris?
Pascal. I think Pascal wins in 5.
Yeah. This team. This team's scary. Okay? This team, I would just be honest with you. This Pascal team is stacked. Like this team, bro. This team. Okay.
Yeah. That other team just doesn't. It's like good at the top and then it's like bad toward the bottom. Yeah, and it's like he jumped in and out. And it was like, here's a good player. Oh, here's not a good player. Who's a good player? Here's not a good player.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, fans, let's see who you think is going to win this matchup. The matchup's between Isaiah Thomas, Darius Garland at the point guard. He's got Kyrie Rick Barry at the 2 guard. Rick Barry at small forward and Ron Artest at small forward. He's got Kevin Garnett and Chris Bosh as a power forward combo. Robert Parrish and Chris Bosh as the center combo. So it's the 3 big rotation. And he's facing a guy named Darren. He's got Pistol Pete Maravich, Tim Hardaway, Vince Carter, Glenn Rice, Larry Bird, Dominique Wilkins, Charles Barkley, Bob Pettit, and Daryl Dawkins, and George Mikan is Darren's team. So who do you guys think is going to win? So, Chris, let's see who you think's going to win.
I like the old school for Darren, though. That's a really good old school squad, though.
I like the old Kanye.
I like that squad. Who was the first person's team?
His name's DJ.
DJ. Who's he have at center?
DJ has Robert Parrish and Chris Bosh.
Chris Bosh could be a problem. That's stretching the floor. I don't think they have anybody who could stretch like that. We got Larry Bird, though, but that's a small forward, not a power forward. That's going to be a problem.
He's got height.
I hate to say it, but this power forward matchup might be the problem.
Kevin Garnett versus Charles Barkley?
No, well, that might be a problem. It depends on how you rank Kevin Garnett versus Charles Barkley, though.
Kevin Garnett's better, in my opinion.
I think he's just taller.
Yeah,
Rick Barry. You remember Son's Charles Barkley? Like he was a problem. He led that team.
It's close, but Rick Barry is 6'5". That's my issue. Larry Bird's 6'9", 6'8".
Yeah,
that's where my problems start.
It's like it just depends on if you like how you've used Charles Barkley versus Kevin Garnett. If you think Charles Barkley's better, and then I think Larry Bird wins the matchup.
Yeah,
though the small forward matchup.
Who
do they have at center again? You said George Mikan.
Darren's got Daryl Dawkins and George Mikan.
R.I.P. Chocolate Thunder.
He's also got Pistol Pete on the team as well. Vince Carter as well.
Now I like that.
Yeah,
I like the Pistol Pete. Gotta think. I mean. And he's going against DJ?
DJ, yeah.
Who's he have as guard?
DJ's got Isaiah Thomas and Kyrie rotating with Darius Garland and Rick Barry.
That's a nice 3-guard rotation, though. Those are all guys who could put the ball on the floor, create their own shot. I'm thinking... Ooh, that's a tough one. I know. I want to go with. I'm gonna go with Darren. On this.
Yeah, I think Darren a little. I'm more stronger on Darren for a few reasons. I think Darren wins in 5, and the reason why is Pistol Pete 6'5", Vince Carter 6'6", with all the athletic gifts. Isaiah Thomas is 6'2", Kyrie 6'3". Who's guarding who? Who's guarding Vince? That's where things get interesting. Like neither one of them. I mean, Vince just bodies him up, puts his shoulder on him. He gets close to the basket, he jumps, and there's nothing either one of those guys can do with him. I just think there's too much height in the guard position for Deron to not dominate this series. So I'm going Deron as well.
Yeah,
it's good. He's going to Elite Eight.
Yeah.
All of these teams are good. Elite Eight is extremely tough. This is going to be really good. All right, we're going to go back up to the top, and we're going to see who's going to win between Chris and another guy. All right, fans, let's see who thinks going to win. This is the Elite Eight matchup. All right, at point guard for the number 1 overall seed, Jamal Murray, Gilbert Arenas, Jerry West, Devon Mitchell. Man, I'm struggling with the name. Kawhi Leonard, Devin Booker, Anthony Davis, Draymond Green, Wilt, AD at backup center. And he's facing Slim Jim in the Elite Eight, who has Drew Holiday, Lonzo Ball, Jimmy Butler. Lonzo Ball's backup 2 guard as well. Jason Tatum, Brandon Ingram, Pascal Siakam, Brandon Ingram, Kareem, and Rudy Gobert and Ben Wallace. Who do you think is going to win? Chris and I are going to decide.
I'm not going to say I'm going to lose. I'm going to say that. I'm not going to say that. Definitely won't. Never. I think this matchup goes 7. I think he's going to push me to the limit. I think so. I think the problem here because I have Wilt to like fight Kareem, but it just depends on who you see as better. I think Wilt's a bit more like, it depends. I forgot which Kareem he chose though. If it was older Kareem or Bucks Kareem. If it's Bucks Kareem, then he's a little bit more physical. But Wilt has he has the body for it to take it. But it's just, I don't know. I'm trying to figure out where do I win the matchup? It's because I have a lot of guards, a lot of shooting, like high scoring potential. But a lot of my guards don't defend. So that's where the problem arises. So who am I playing again? Lim Jim, right?
Yeah.
And I know he has Kareem. Who does he have as guards?
Drew Holiday, Lonzo
that's
Ball,
gonna be a problem.
Jimmy Butler, Lonzo Ball.
That's a problem. Yeah.
Jason Tatum.
His guard matchup is crazy for me. That's like, I think I'm not gonna say I'm gonna lose. I'm gonna say I'm gonna win. But like I said, I'm not gonna say I'm gonna lose. I'm not gonna say that. Even if I am thinking it, but I'm not gonna say it.
Anything else?
Yeah, go ahead. Say what you gotta say.
I think you win in 5. I feel so much Yeah, there's a few reasons why. First things first, Kawhi Leonard versus Jason Tatum, that's a scary matchup. And yes,
I forgot I had Kawhi.
Jimmy Butler might give Jerry West and Donovan Mitchell's issues. Yeah, but I don't think people understand why your team is so superpowered. And I'll explain why. Draymond Green's getting 23 minutes in the game. Okay?
He's a ball handler.
Does Draymond Green and Jerry West do extremely well? You know what they're going to do?
Pass.
They're going to pass the heck out of the basketball. You think Jamal Murray, Gilbert Arenas, Jerry West, and Donovan Mitchell can't take advantage of all the passing that Draymond Green can produce? You think you can't run a Golden State Warriors type of offense with Wilt Chamberlain's big behind setting screens? The AD, big guy setting screens?
And he can stretch the floor.
Yeah, you have 2 point guards. Jamal Murray and Gilbert Arenas are microwaves. They're nuclear explosions. They don't need anything. He's got Devin Booker as well, getting 10 minutes as a backup small forward in the backup. Like, this is where things get interesting. Draymond Green changes your whole offense because of the passing, and that's why because everything's gonna become more efficient. Because of that, he's gonna do all those little things. He's such a winner, and on this team, he works because you have all the spacing. So this is why I think your team is tough, because You don't need Jamal Murray and Gilbert Arenas to play like they do on their teams. They get the Steph Curry treatment. They get the Klay Thompson treatment, and then they can create off of that if there's nothing there. But you're going to get at least 21 points a game of extremely open looks for these guys. And that's where the efficiency of the offense goes up exponentially because Draymond Green does so many things passing-wise, and he can take – because Jerry West is the only guy that can do that other than him, and him getting so many minutes is important to this team, and that's why I think this team is so tough. And, Lim Jim just – you might have a Jimmy Butler advantage, but other than that, there's nothing. There's no advantage. I mean, yeah, Drew Holiday's not going to be able to be guarded, but he's also not somebody you're worried about scoring more than 20 points a game consistently.
Yeah.
So I think you win in 5. I think you slap them.
I definitely appreciate it. Like I said, I wasn't going to say I was going to lose even though I think it. But the only reason I think that I might lose is the defensive matchup. I think that becomes a problem. I think that that where I'm strong at is offense. I have a high offensive ceiling.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that with Drew Holiday, Jimmy Butler, that's a high defensive ceiling. He cancels out some of my guards.
I don't think so.
I think defensively they cancel out my guards. Especially Drew Holiday. He's one of the best point guard defenders in the league.
I think because of Draymond Green and the efficiency of the things you could do as like a coach, you have put a coach in there, I think it'd work.
We have to agree. Because it's crazy. I don't want to say I would lose, but when I look at defensive capabilities of that team, it's just like
it's
good. I feel like I'm shut down. I feel like I'm shut down.
Yeah, but what is somebody doing in the paint with you?
Like they're not doing anything. They can't do anything.
AD and
they can turn the ball over, but Wilt's down there already.
Yeah, and nobody on that team's a perimeter shot creator. So everything's funneled inside.
Yeah, so they can't even score really.
Yeah, so even though
we're talking about like bubble AD.
Poof. That's scary. AD and Wilt are you gotta be special to score on them.
And you know what's crazy about this? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Go ahead. I was
about to say like all 10 of my players can score at a high level because AD can go off. AD stretches the floor. He brings the power forward and or center out.
Yeah,
depending.
Very true. It's a great team. Number 1 overall seed.
He can ball handle.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Earn the number 1 overall seed. Not a fluke.
All right. I'll come to the dark side. I win.
Okay.
I win. Okay. I win.
It was so hard for you.
Yeah, I know, because I was like, hey, I was just looking at the defensive capability. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, it's just the defense. Like, I think that their defense cancels out some of my scoring.
Yeah.
But then I think, like, okay, but then nobody can check Wilt. Nobody can check AD. They can score as well. Wilt's a 100-point game score. He's a 50-point per game scorer. Like, these are scores. I think that they would win the guard matchup because they canceled me out defensively. But I think I would win the power forward, small forward, and center matchup.
Yeah, it'd be a really
especially because I'm Kawhi.
It'd be really good. All these matchups from this point on are not going to be clear cut. It's all going to be takes time to figure out. Yeah. All right. With the next one, who do you guys think is going to win? So basically, this is the 4 and 5 seed. This is the 4th and 5th best teams. These teams are going to figure out who's going to go to the Final Four. And the first team is the number 1 seed in this bracket for this side is CP3, Jason Kidd, Zach LaVine, Tracy McGrady getting some bench minutes, Tracy McGrady a small forward, Sean Marion backup small forward, Chris Webber, and Patrick Ewing, and Akeem. Those are the 3 forward and center rotation. And then Trent, the number 2 seed in this bracket, has LeBron James, Grant Hill, Allen Iverson, Manu Ginobili, Melo, Joe Johnson at power forward, rotating with Grant Hill as a backup power forward. These guys are all getting a ton of minutes. He's got David Robinson, Ralph Simpson at the center position. These 2 teams are tough, great matchups. See who's going to go to the Final Four. Who do you think is going to win? Chris and I are going to decide. Chris, this is tough. Who do you think is going to win?
The team, because I forget names immediately. The team that has David Robinson and Ralph Sampson wins this matchup, in my opinion. I think it's not clear. I would say it would go about. I'm shooting like 6-7. I wish it could go 8 because I think I would like watching this. It's one of those games you wish I wish they could just play all the time. But I think it would go like 6 or 7. And there's not going to be clear cut. I think that David Robinson, Ralph Sampson problem, that's a problem, especially with the height advantage.
He's got Hakeem.
David Robinson.
You think David Robinson's better than Hakeem?
I don't think he's better than Hakeem, but I think that if anybody could athletically and also with his, quickness can stay in front of Hakeem and give Hakeem problems, it would be David Robinson.
Yeah, I guess he does have a
and you also have to understand that David Robinson is a scorer too. He dropped 50.
Mm-hmm. True. It's a good matchup.
I mean, I think this is tough.
Braun makes things tough.
Yeah, that's another one too. Because but the thing is that I would say that as LeBron was coming into his dominance, there wasn't such great bigs anymore. Shaq was on his way out the league. Dwight was the only last of the Mohicans, and Yao was already gone. So it's I don't think he's truly went against a dominant big outside. You know what I mean? A modern big. There's a lot of modern bigs on these teams. They're not not modern bigs, old school bigs is what I mean, early 2000 bigs. And they're really how do I say, a bag of cement bricks. They just don't move. Ooh, that's gonna be a problem.
Hakeem can move,
but
though.
I mean, you know what I mean? Not meaning don't. I mean they're stronger. You know what I mean? Kind of they're not built to come out and shoot and stuff like that. Hakeem had a bigger frame, but he could pull out and sometimes pull the center away, and that kind of was where he became dangerous around the basket. But I don't know. Keep doing this with my teeth. I gotta stop that. Yeah, I'm going with the David Robinson, Ralph Sampson team. I'm gonna go with that.
You're going with Braun?
Yeah.
Braun and Elijah Johnson. So I'll talk through my thoughts here because I'm not really decided yet either. The things that makes this tougher that leans to Wally in my first glance is CP3 can guard AI, J-Kid can guard Manu, and they could put Zach LaVine on Joe Johnson or Melo. I'm not going to put him on Braun, but he's got T-Mac rotating as the backup two guard and at small forward position. T-Mac 6'8", 6'9". Sean Marion as also his backup small forward. That's a lot of size. And Chris Webber can guard these guys.
Mm-hmm.
But these guys can't guard Chris Webber. Patrick Ewing's getting 10 minutes at the power forward position. Nobody's doing anything with that. That power forward position, Chris Webber's one of those lucky draft picks where he probably didn't know how extremely valuable he would be because he's around the same height, but he's completely different built. He's a power forward. His strength is going to be too much for these guys. And, Braun, Grant Hill, Joe Johnson leads to a heck of efficient offense, but so does CP and J-Kid. Right? It's where it's the yin and yang, and you might favor David Thompson, but I favor Hakeem. I think Hakeem, David Robinson literally, he's been known as somebody who fears Hakeem without, saying it. Hakeem is the better center, in my opinion. It's a heck of a matchup. It really is. And offensively, Zach LaVine, T-Mac, to space the floor and be perimeter shot creators, just be buckets, gives a lot of spacing to Chris Webber to do his thing. And also CP3 and J-Kid are going to take advantages of the mismatches. But, Braun is Braun. Braun is Braun. Braun is Braun is Braun.
Yeah.
Hakeem is the all-time leader in blocks. Braun and AI, this team's built around attacking the basket and also have the spacing. Even though they're going to be able to do it, it's not going to be as efficient with Hakeem around. Hakeem is legitimately special. Rim defender, so much better than guys like Rudy Gobert. I think because of Chris Webber, CP3, J-Kid, the efficiency, Sean Marion as well, they have so many bodies. I'm going to go with Wally.
So we differ.
Yes. After listening to what I say, are you coming to my dark side a little bit or no?
I'm thinking it's tough. Like
It is.
I just went with it. It's like
It really
I wasn't
is.
completely sold on either team. I mean, you know what I mean? Like on one way or the other right now.
Ooh,
Let me try talking.
I might be wrong. Braun can guard Chris Webber at peak Miami years.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Okay, so here's where my thoughts go, right? So Braun AI, that's high level scoring right there. And then you also throw in the playmaking ability of LeBron. Then you have Grant Hill as well. That's another point forward who can score and play make as well. So now you have, but where it comes down to where you're going is like, I think that we're both thinking offensively. But let's go defensively. I think the defensive capabilities, even though you may not be able to stop Hakeem, but I think I forgot what his name is already. On the LeBron James side, with
Trent.
I think that's defensively. Trent, I think defensively that's just too much.
I would say Melo and Joe Johnson aren't known as defenders too, because T-Mac's somebody's got to guard him.
Somebody's going off on that team. That's why I say it's going 7, but I think that just the defensive part on here is got like if you throw LeBron in there, then plus the bigs, I think that cancels. It cancels like Hakeem a little bit.
I'm gonna come to your dark side, but it's going 7.
In 7?
I'm gonna agree with you.
Okay, in 7.
Yeah.
I think defensively, I think it's a problem. Yeah,
heck
of
a matchup. These two teams
boils down to the defensive matchup.
Both Final Four worthy teams.
T-Mac though, we know T-Mac is clutch though.
Yeah.
These are all these games are going down to the wire, by the way. Like this is like 99, 10 seconds on the clock. Who do you put the ball? Whose hand do you put the ball in?
Yeah, it's tough. Heck of a game.
T-Mac taking my last shot.
T-Mac special. It's okay. Yeah. Trent wins. Braun, AI, Melo, Johnson, Grant Hill move to the next round. All right, Chris. This is going to be exciting. Fans, who you think is going to win? Go between these Elite 8 teams or go to the Final Four. You got Jason with Magic Johnson, Penny Hardaway, Trae Young getting bulk of the minutes at the 2 guard with Joe Dumars rotating in, Paul George, Jaylen Brown, Dirk Nowitzki, Tom Chambers, Joel Embiid, DeMarcus Cousins versus Luka Doncic and Mike Bibby, Clyde Drexler and Elgin Baylor, KD, Ron Artest, Rasheed Wallace, Dennis Rodman, Dwight Howard, Bill Laimbeer. All right, you guys decide who thinks going to win. Chris and I are going to talk about why we think who's going to win.
This is a tough one too.
Yeah.
You have to think that KD problem out first. How do you?
I got Jason, Paul George.
How do you beat
There's 10 guys all time that can guard KD reasonably.
And Paul George is one of them.
He's on that list. He's on the list. I mean, Paul George is special defensively. So let's not. KD's still going to put up buckets. No.
He's a nice 3-and-D. He's going to be an irritant. Wow. Who do you have to stop Luka?
Either Magic, probably Magic. Magic 6'9", Luka 6'7". They're both slow. Live with that.
Yeah.
Magic's more athletic, so you're not really getting an advantage with height there. I got Penny that is a backup who's also 6'7". So, the only mismatch I have is either I have to put Trae Young on Luka or Trae Young on Clyde. But, there's a reason why I love Trae Young so much for this team. It's because of the perimeter shot creation for himself and the pick and roll and all that type of stuff that Magic can't really do to the extent. So, those two paired together, I mean, who's guarding him? Because Paul George, somebody's got to guard Paul George between those three. And then who's guarding Magic? Who's guarding Trae Young? Because Luka's going to be a dead weight against somebody. And it's either going to be Magic Johnson, Penny Hardaway, Trae Young, or Paul George. Like, he's by far the worst defender on either of these teams. And it's not even close.
My problem comes in. It's because you have to give Trae Young the Isaiah Thomas treatment. You have to hide him somewhere. How are you hiding Trae Young?
Either Luka or Clyde.
He's a defensive liability. Whoever is on him is going off.
Yeah, but he's there for
becomes
offense.
A problem.
Yeah, He's there for offense.
I mean, I know he's there for offense, but I mean, like, that becomes a problem because, like, Luka goes off. He's like 40, 45. You know what I mean? Like, that becomes a problem. So you have to be able to, I think that you have to be able to hide Trey. How are you hiding Trey? I mean, like, I'm asking you the question because it's your team. So how are you hiding Trey?
I'd say between those three, the one that I would live with is Clyde. The reason why
you can hide him on Clyde
because Magic and Kate and Paul George are too perfect of a pairing to guard those two, and those are the two best scorers between those two. Clyde might still expose Trae Young, obviously, but it's not like I don't have Dirk, Joel Embiid, DeMarcus Cousins, and Tom Chambers at the rim. So I got 7-footers. Even though neither one of them are like special defensive, that's still height and length. So. You know what I mean?
I'm convinced.
Nobody's doing anything.
I'm ready to make a decision.
Okay.
Jason wins it.
Thank you. I think I win in 6. It's a heck of a team, though. Good 2 seed.
I was going to say 6 as well.
Yeah, and I also think Dwight Howard is too small for Joel Embiid and DeMarcus Cousins.
Yeah.
All right. I get the dub. Going in the Final Four. Woo! We got 2 spots in the Final Four between me and Chris. Obviously, this is why we're basketball addicts. All right.
Yeah.
The next one is going to be a fun matchup. Let's see who you guys think is going to win. Number 2 seed overall has got Damian Lillard, Scottie Pippen at the point guard, MJ, George Gervin at the 2, Scottie Pippen, Rashard Lewis getting a bulk minutes of 20 minutes, backup small forward, Blake Griffin, Karl Anthony Towns. That's his power forward position, but Blake Griffin for most of the minutes. Kat's his starting center and Yao Ming's backup center versus Darren, who's got Pistol Pete Maravich, Tim Hardaway, Vince Carter, Glenn Rice, Larry Bird, Dominique Wilkinson, Charles Barkley, Bob Pettit, Daryl Dawkins, and George Mikan. Who do you guys think is going to win? Chris and I are going to decide who's going to win right now.
I'm sorry, Darren, but you don't win this one. And yeah. I don't know why. As soon as he says the name, it's like it goes. What was the name of the first guy?
Pascal.
Pascal wins it.
Yeah, I think that I'm honestly surprised that Darren's such a basketball junkie. I'm surprised he went Daryl Dawkins to George Mikan at the center. And with Dame, Cat spacing, Scotty and MJ attacking the rim, what are you doing? Like, Charles Barkley 6'6", Bob Pettit 6'9". I mean, Daryl Dawkins and George Mikan have the height, but they don't have the talent to deal with Michael, Jeffrey, Jordan. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a really bad matchup there. Because once he leaves the air and starts doing the acrobatics and moving his body in directions that it's not supposed to go in, I think Pascal wins in 6 because it's a bad matchup. But Larry Bird, Vince Carter, and Pistol Pete are able to push it to a few games. Also for Pascal, who do you think? Which version of Blake Griffin do you think? Do you think Detroit Pistons Blake Griffin, where he could shoot a little bit better, more skilled when he won the All-Star his first year at Detroit, or really athletic? I'm leaning to Detroit on this team because of the spacing with MJ and Scotty. Who do you think?
That's what I was going to say. I was going to say Detroit Blake Griffin.
I'm glad we got that out of the way because I think it's going to make a big difference for his team.
Because he can pass as well.
Yeah. It's a more skilled version. It might not be the best version per se, but it's definitely more skilled and it's very close. All right, we got the Final Four. The Final Four. Let's get it cooking. Let's see who's going to win. All right, fans, who do you think's going to win the Final Four? Go to the national championship of a bracket. Number 1 seed overall is Chris. Got Jamal Murray, Gilbert Arenas, Jerry West, Donovan Mitchell, Kawhi Leonard, Devin Booker, Anthony Davis, Draymond Green, Wilt Chamberlain, Anthony Davis. Rotating as a 3-man big rotation. Trent is who he's facing. LeBron James, Grant Hill, Allen Iverson, Manu Ginobili, Melo, Joe Johnson, Grant Hill, David Robinson, Ralph Sampson. Who do you think is going to win and go to the national championship in a bracket? Chris and I will decide. Chris, make your argument for your team. What do you think?
Is there any questions that you want to ask me before I start?
No.
Because like I asked you a little bit of a couple questions or anything. Is there any glaring weaknesses you see between the matchup that you want to ask about, and maybe I can try to clarify them for you?
So, Jamal Murray, Gilbert Arenas, Jerry West, Donovan Mitchell are your guards. One of them gets the guard Allen Iverson motto. Are you guarding Bron, Melo, Joe Johnson, Grant Hill? Who are you guarding with your other guards, and what other guards are you using to guard? I know what I would do, but I want to hear what you say.
So, I mean, with LeBron, I have to use Kawhi. I have to. Like, there's no choice.
Yeah.
That's the only person who I could put on him. Melo becomes a problem because he stops the ball, but he's like, he gets in he ball fakes and everything like that. So you need somebody who's going to just sit there and be patient with him because he's going to do that for the whole entire shot clock. Joe Johnson a little differently because he can break you down. He's going to break some ankles if you're not watching where you're going.
Mm-hmm.
And they're both like very talented offensively. But I think that the Kawhi, I might be able to stop Kawhi. I mean, stop LeBron and like maybe hold him to 20, possibly with Kawhi. But my problem then when it arises with Melo and Joe Johnson. But it's not a big problem because they're both not going to defend. My two guys aren't going to defend. So it's really just going to be a back and forth of who's going to stay hot the longest. That's what it becomes because Joe Johnson's not defending. Melo's not defending. Donovan Mitchell's not defending. They're not defending. These are scorers. And then I'm still trying to work that out too. Is it? See, I'm running into the same problem again. It's similar to the same problem because the same reason I was like, oh, I would lose this matchup before. It's kind of the same reason I would lose this matchup now. I think that I have the scoring, but I think I just don't have the defense. I don't have the defense to hold anybody except for LeBron. That's the only person I can hold. But with the Ralph Sampson problem, that becomes a problem. You know what I mean? Even though I could throw Wilt at him, but it's like, I don't know. I think that Wilt wins the scoring matchup with that one, though. But then he has, David Robinson, right? I have AD.
Yeah.
I mean, I could pull David Robinson out, but who's getting past Ralph? Who's getting past? Well,
David Robinson, Ralph are not going to be playing power forward and center. They can't do it. They can't do it for minutes.
Yeah.
So it's not like they're going to be. You have to worry about if AD is at power forward, he's going to be playing against either Joe Johnson, Melo, Grant Hill, Bron, one of those guys.
Oh,
great.
Okay. I didn't know you were doing how you were breaking down the minutes of the team, especially with the matchup. I thought that I would have to go against Ralph Sampson and David.
Nah, so they can't play 48 minutes to get him, sadly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So with that being said, now that you took the two guys out who could possibly do something against me, you know what I mean, with the bigs, I think I win. I think I win in 7.
Yeah, I think Anthony Davis is the X factor in this matchup that makes this so tough because, in my opinion,
he's defending.
Yeah, because you can put Kawhi on Bron and you can put AD on Melo, and then it's like, how many points can Joe Johnson and Grant Hill score? You know what I mean? Even though they might be guarded by Jerry West and Gilbert Arenas, like, how many points can they really score? Like, it's not like they're Bron and Melo. Like, if you put, Jamal Murray on Melo, like, Melo's cooking, but Anthony Davis gives, because who's guarding AD? If you put Bron on AD, then who's guarding Kawhi? Melo, Joe Johnson, Grant Hill? Who's guarding Jerry West and Jamal Murray then? Because, Allen Iverson and Manu might be able to guard one of your guards, but either Jerry West, Jamal Murray, Gilbert Arenas, one of those guys is getting guarded by, like, Melo, Joe Johnson. Like, there's tough. Like, your team's too offensively talented, too defensively talented, and I think you give them matchup issues, and I think you're going forward well, and I think you're winning in 6. I have you winning in 6, Chris.
In 6?
Yes.
I love that you asking those questions because that works so much better for me when I'm working it out because, like, when you say the team, I'm just assuming everybody plays.
Mhm.
For you guys who don't know out there, I have Bob McAdoo, and Jason has thought of everything. So he was like, Bob McAdoo doesn't get a chance to play. He was like, you're better using Draymond, Wilt, and AD over Bob McAdoo. Even though Bob McAdoo becomes a scoring threat for anybody, it's just that his size and the way that they did the size all the time, it depends on the matchup and when he will be able to play. But in these key matchups right now, he won't be able to play.
Yeah. Draymond Green's passing makes a big difference offensively.
Yeah.
All right. Man, this might be the death of me right here. All right, fans, let's see who thinks going to win this next matchup and go to the national championship to face Chris's team. Number 3 seed in this bracket overall is my team. Got Magic Johnson, Penny Hardaway. I got Trae Young and Joe Dumars at the 2 guard. Paul George, Jaylen Brown, Dirk Nowitzki, Tom Chambers, Joel Embiid, DeMarcus Cousins. And I'm facing the number 2 overall seed in the whole bracket, who's Damian Lillard, Scottie Pippen, Michael Jordan, George Gervin, Scottie Pippen, Rashard Lewis getting a lot of bulk minutes as backup small forward, Blake Griffin, Karl Anthony Towns, and Yao Ming. Who do you think's going to win? And Chris and I are going to just talk about why we decide who's going to win. All right, Chris.
Karl Anthony Towns and Yao Ming?
That's the center combo, yeah.
That's pretty good. And he's not playing Shaq, so he's definitely going to dominate. Like he's I'm not going to say he's a Shaq stopper, but he's the only person who can like go against Shaq in that modern era of basketball. So, Okay, what's the guard matchup? I'm sorry.
So the guard matchup is Dame, Scotty, MJ, George Gervin. I got Magic, Penny, Hardaway, Trae Young, Joe Dumars. Guards.
That Magic Scotty matchup is kind of bad, because they're both known for for being defensive, crazy on the defensive side of the ball. I don't think you have anything to stop Mike, and I don't think you have anything to stop Scotty, especially. Go ahead.
So, this is why having big point guards makes a difference, in my opinion, right here. All right. Magic Johnson 6'9", Penny Hardaway 6'7", Scottie Pippen 6'8", Rashard Lewis is 6'9". I could put Magic on Scotty, and he might have a little bit of athletic advantage, and Penny Hardaway on Rashard Lewis, and have that work. My small forward position is Paul George and Jaylen Brown. That's who's guarding Mike. Because I can have Trae Young and Joe Dumars rotating and guarding Dame and Scotty. Because I can have Joe Dumars getting the minutes guarding Scotty. And Joe Dumars is 6'4", like really known for playing defense. So that's who I'm throwing at him. So I at least have qualified defenders. I'm not saying they're stopping him because it's Michael Jeffrey Jordan. Yeah. But I'm just saying they're qualified, okay?
They're qualified defenders.
Okay.
That becomes tough.
This is two really tough teams.
I'm going to go with... this is tough. Jason, it's tough. Man.
It's a really good matchup. This is so close. One thing I will say, I want to point out for the crowd here, Blake Griffin's getting 38 minutes as a power forward position. So is Dirk. Tom Chambers is 6'10", spacing. But what my point is here is, Cat might get 10 minutes, and you might be able to put him on Dirk a little bit for 10 minutes. But 28 minutes a game, I got 7 foot versus 6'8". What is Blake Griffin doing with Dirk?
Yeah, he's not doing too much.
I got Embiid. Like, what? Cat can't
you have
defend.
Embiid and DeMarcus Cousins.
Cat can't defend. Save his life. It's really close though. It's a really good matchup.
But you're not looking for Cat to give you big minutes. That's what you have Mike and Scotty for. I mean, not big minutes, but big points. You know what I mean? Scoring wise, you're not. You know what I mean? You want Cat to get off, of course. You know what I mean? You want your player to get off, but I don't think you're looking for Cat to drop 30.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So even if you do cancel him out and your bigs go off, you still have to worry about Mike.
I got that's 2 7-footers at the
problem.
rim. I got two 7-footers at the rim,
you
and I got
2 7-footers.
I got 2 guys that can guard him, and Paul George and Jaylen Brown.
Well, he wagged the finger at Dikembe Mutombo, so what do you think he's gonna do to them?
He's still gonna get buckets, but I got a team here, Chris.
I'm not going against you. I'm just trying to make sure I have everything in my head right before I make the decision.
It's a hell of a matchup. I also think
I'm going Jason.
Oh, I'm just so happy.
Huh?
I'm just so happy.
Yeah, I don't think he lose yet. I'm going Jason in 7. I got 7. Jason in 7. You've had some tough matchups on the way here, on the way to winning.
Oh yeah. I looked at my bracket. I was like, oh shit. I have like 2 matchups that are gonna be tough. I'm really gonna try to not be biased here. I'm really gonna try. I think one really tough thing about my team is, if Cat pulls the center, whoever's guarding him out, I still have another 7-footer guarding inside. Pascal's got a heck of a team. But the interesting thing is Trae Young and Dame are kind of going to cancel each other out scoring-wise. And after that point in time, Paul George, Dirk, Magic, Penny, Joel Embiid, DeMarcus Cousins are all 25-point-per-game scorers and up. Paul George, Jaylen Brown. I just think I have too many buckets on the offensive side with efficiency with Magic and Trae Young passing the lights out of the basketball. So I'm going to go with my team as well. I'm going
7.
I'm going 7. And, wow. All right. This should be fun. Okay. So this is like a repeat of last year. All right, fans. Who do you think is going to win the championship this year? You got 2 teams, which is your guys' podcasters, because we are basketball addicts here. Chris has got Jamal Murray, Gilbert Arenas, Jerry West, Donovan Mitchell, Kawhi Leonard, Devin Booker, Anthony Davis, Draymond Green, Wilt AD, and I've got Magic Johnson, Penny Hardaway, Trae Young, Drew Dumars, Paul George, Jaylen Brown, Dirk, Tom Chambers, Joel Embiid, DeMarcus Cousins. Who do you think's going to win? Chris and I are probably never going to be able to agree on who's going to win. All right, let's see who's.
I think we should phone a friend because I feel like it would be unfair for us to try to do this again.
The friend has to know basketball. Who is it?
Okay. I'm going to phone a friend. I'm going to phone Darren.
Who is it, though?
Darren.
Okay.
Darren. Okay. I'm about to get on Instagram real quick and see if I can get him to jump in real quick.
I can.
My God.
I can send him a picture of the matchup.
Okay. Yeah, he has to. Let me see, Darren. Please, don't do this to me now. No!
Don't stop me now. I'm having a good time. I'm having a ball. Don't stop me. Ooh, ooh, yeah.
Because I feel like it will be too biased if we both try to convince each other. You know what I mean? So I feel like we need that third just to come in right now and just like, yo, this is exactly like, this is, you know what I mean? They need to break the tie between us. Or another idea I was going to have was we can let the fans decide who wins.
See,
who wins the championship?
My issue is you have Jerry West, Wilt Chamberlain. I have Magic, Penny Hardaway, Joe Dumars, Tom Chambers. They might not know how good those guys are.
Yeah.
We got too many old heads on our team, older players, to really trust somebody who's. But I think it's going to be fun for the interaction, so I think we should argue about why, each team, why we think who's going to win. While I sent a photo to Darren, though, so he's been messaged. Okay. So why do you think your team wins, or why do you not think your team wins? If you want to just help me out here. Help me help you. Help me help you.
Okay, so like I said, I'm not gonna say I'm gonna lose. So I think that you hide in Trae Young. You don't have because he's not gonna defend. But I have a lot of guards who I have to try to figure out. Okay, okay? I know my people. Who do you have again?
I'll go slow. Magic Johnson, Penny Hardaway, point guard. 2 guard,
Ooh,
Trae Young's getting all the minutes, but Joe Dumars my rotation. Small forward, Paul George, Jaylen Brown. Dirk at power forward, Tom Chambers at power forward. Center, Joel Embiid, and DeMarcus Cousins.
Maybe. Joel Embiid and DeMarcus Cousins, and have Wilt and AD. I think that's I like that matchup more for me. I like that matchup for me. I don't think you're doing anything with Wilt or AD. I think that out of those 4, I think Wilt and AD are the best of those, in those positions.
I would say Wilt 1, Embiid, DeMarcus Cousins, and AD 5 4.
You put AD under DeMarcus Cousins?
At the center position, yeah. Because DeMarcus Cousins' size. Like, AD's not really built to stop that.
True.
But I completely agree with you. Anyway. Wilt's an issue.
He likes to play power forward as well. I got guards, though. I got a lot of scoring guards. A lot of scoring guards. You have a lot of scoring guards, too. Where my issues comes in now is that it becomes the same problem over and over again. Is that I just built my team very offensively, but not really defensively. It's like I have a high offensive ceiling, but I'm missing the defensive side of everything. Because, like, you don't have defense in your guards. Okay, we'll give you that. You really don't. Like, I have Kawhi, but that's about it. You know what I mean? And then everybody else is like, all my defense is in the bigs. It's just Kawhi and the bigs. But the problem that I get with you is that you have a height advantage. I don't have my guards are smaller. They're smaller skilled guards, but you have taller skilled guards. You get what I'm saying? So it's like it becomes a problem. I don't know. Maybe. Did Darren get back to you yet?
Mm-mm.
And you know what I'm saying? Like, I like the reason why I've been winning is not my defensive capabilities; it's my offensive capabilities. But when that can be shut down, I have a problem because, especially when it comes to the height advantage, like my guards are smaller.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have tall guards, and I have ball handlers. Which might which might make a big problem for you because if the primary ball handler, you know what I mean, to set this up to run a Golden State style offense is Draymond Green. He's not super tall, but I think that his height and defensive I could do that. I could work with that. You know what I mean? I could work with that with whoever you choose. So, like, say if you run Magic, I throw Draymond on him. I have centers. You know what I mean? I can keep Wilt in the center position and throw Draymond on like Magic or Penny, depending on who you run. Because other than that, I just don't have any defense. My guards are not defenders; they're scorers. I don't have, and then Kawhi. Like then I can throw Kawhi. But who do you have at the small forward position?
Paul George and Jaylen Brown.
Ah, man, I don't have enough defenders. What about power forward wise? Who do you have?
Dirk and Tom Chambers.
I don't have nothing for that. I mean, I could throw AD out there, but I really don't have anything. Like, AD is going to be a good defensive matchup. I think I can win that matchup defensively. Kawhi is going to win his matchup defensively. I got that. It's just my point guards become a problem. You're hiding Trae. I can't do nothing about that. And then I just don't have the size to compete with Magic and Penny. They're backing all my guards down. I'm not gonna make a decision. Go ahead, Jay.
All right.
Tell me why you think your team wins or whatever.
I think matchup wise, I feel like one big thing for me personally is this is by far the worst matchup I could have for Dirk with AD and Draymond. Like, those two are special defensively. They're gonna give Dirk a lot of issues. Will's athleticism is going to give Embiid and DeMarcus Cousins issues. They're still going to do their thing because they're highly skilled and they're gifted, but it's not like I'm going to be like dominating out there. It's going to be really tough. Kawhi is going to give Paul George issues. Devin Booker versus Jaylen Brown. That's an interesting matchup. Jaylen Brown's a better defender, so I'm not really worried too much, but it does kind of come down to the way you view the guards. Trae Young and Joe Dumars can hide on Jamal Murray and Gilbert Arenas. I can hide those guys pretty easily. I'd probably put Magic on Jerry West because I think Jamal Murray and Gilbert Arenas would give Magic's feet issues. Because Magic had issues guarding Isaiah Thomas because of quickness and athleticism. So I'm going to put him on Jerry West because Jerry West is more of a skilled guy and not like as athletically gifted, where Magic's going to have issues. Jerry West is going to have high IQ, but he's going to have issues with Magic. And yeah, Penny and Magic are going to be tough problems for you because Embiid and DeMarcus Cousins, if I want to space out the center position, space out the floor with Dirk, I can and leave it open for Magic to do his work. But Magic's not this offensively focused player, so it's not like he's going to take. It's not like it's Luka where he's just going to put up a scoring display, but it's going to be easy work for him.
Yeah. I don't have the height or the defense.
If we're running Golden State type offense with Draymond Green, I'd have issues running your guys around screens with Magic and Penny. I mean, Magic specifically.
Yeah. Do you think? So my question for you is then: do you think me running my style of offense would become a problem for you because you have to run into all these picks and you just don't have the quickness to do so? I got guys who can run the court. You know what I mean? But you said there's a problem with Magic maybe staying in front. He runs it to a Wilt pick. Penny runs it to a Wilt pick. Becomes a problem. Runs to a Draymond pick. Becomes a problem.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to get some efficient looks off of that.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Running into a Kawhi pick, it becomes a problem.
One thing I am kind of worried about is tempo. Can Joel Embiid and DeMarcus Cousins run out the floor that much? I know Will can. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
How fast?
If he's beating...
Because Jerry West and Draymond Green might know to control tempo to run fast, and Magic may... But Magic's a master point guard. Maybe he wants to slow it down. Because he's such a high basketball IQ, I could see him adjusting after a few minutes of a gameplay. Because his mind
runs fast break pretty well, too, with his passing, though.
Yeah. I mean, I guess he didn't have any issues with the really, really old Green, though.
Yeah.
It's a heck of a matchup.
Wilt's beating everybody down the court, though. That becomes a problem, though.
Yeah. One thing that I think makes it tough for you is I don't have anybody that completely relies on attacking the basket.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like I have a guy that feeds into Wilt
No, you don't. So, thinking. You space the floor very well with your picks. You know, picking these players, you space the floor very well. So that becomes a problem because you don't have to. You don't have to run downhill, and you don't run into you don't make it a Wilt problem because Wilt has to come out. You have to pull him from the basket.
At least into the mid range.
When you said
at least in the mid.
Yeah, at least to the mid range. Because once you set up your offense, you pull him out because nobody's coming toward the basket. Nobody's driving downhill unless it's like Jaylen Brown. But at that point, he's already pulled out because of Dirk and who's your center?
Joel Embiid and DeMarcus Cousins.
And Joel Embiid and DeMarcus Cousins. But Joel Embiid does like to operate down low, so you actually that does turn into a problem though.
He's a 3-level scorer though.
Yeah, but he's not as efficient at the 3 as you may think.
I think he shot like 37% this year.
I just think that I think that he could pull him out, but he's not like it's not going to be too much of a problem pulling him out because eventually Joel Embiid likes to work inside. That's where he likes to do. He likes to work inside. He's more of a
mid post guy now.
You don't think Wilt can defend that? I think
no. I'm saying that I'm saying he operates more from the mid post. It's a little farther out. That's what I'm trying to say. Spacing.
Lately, yeah.
I mean, he could defend.
DeMarcus Cousins likes to go inside, but he can operate as well. And I think he's the better 3-point shooter out of the two.
Yeah, both good scrap.
I'm just gonna say I win. There it is. I've said it. I have said it. I win. Now it's just up to you to come to the dark side and say it officially. Number 1, baby. Come to the dark side, Jason. Doing the Darth Vader noises. It's the dark side. I am your father. Cuts off arm. And Leia is your sister. Oh God. Incest.
What? How did we get here?
I don't know.
What the fuck just happened? I'm thinking about basketball and there's incest.
I was making jokes about Star Wars.
Oh, okay.
Because I said, come to the dark side, I started making Darth Vader noises.
Oh, okay.
And then I was just like running through lines and making jokes. But you were like too focused, so like you missed it.
I'm very focused. I'm in the zone. Like auto zone.
I can tell.
There
you
go. It really is a battle of, is my efficiency of scoring going to outweigh your more volume and numbers of scorers? Because I'm going to have efficiency with Magic and Penny. They're going to score efficiently. They're going to pass efficiently. They're going to do what they do. But, man, Jamal Murray, Gilbert Arenas, Jerry West, Donovan Mitchell, Kawhi Leonard, Devin Booker could put the ball in the fucking basket. Like, dude, all of them can score.
Come on, Jason. Just do it. Just do it. You won last year. Come on. Come over. Number 1, baby. Number 1. Number 1, baby. Come on. I'll be back on my wrestling kick. We the ones. Yeah, just come on.
I don't think we can
fun over here.
underrate advantages, though. Think about the Golden State Warriors. Think about the Houston Rockets. They might have had more scoring talent than the Warriors, but they couldn't match up with the Warriors. Think about LeBron James and the Cavs. They couldn't outscore the Warriors, but they had Tristan Thompson who could switch. They had LeBron James who could switch. They had Delly that could throw at the point guard. They had just enough scoring and efficiency to give the higher volume team issues.
But think about this for a second, since you're talking matchups. That was before they had KD.
Yeah, but I'm just talking in theory. I'm trying to remind myself of things because Magic and Penny are going to be able to do whatever they want. Like it's going to be.
It's before they had. It's before they. This is all before they had KD. I have too many scores. I have 4. No,
it was
I have
a metaphor.
10 scores.
Chris. It was a metaphor, Chris.
I was about to say.
It was a metaphor.
I'm just saying. I have 10 scores. I don't have any defense, but I have 10 scores. Legitimate scores. I'm talking buckets, 30 to 40 points, possible. And I just don't. I think you have the defensive capability at the center position, which might give me a problem. But that's pretty. But my guys can launch it. They can fire away. So, come on, Jason, to the dark side.
Start naming things in the starting 5 and get. Will's the best player in the matchup. Second best player is Magic. Third best player is, in my opinion, Dirk. Fourth best player is probably AD at prime bubble time. Fifth best player is Jerry West. Sixth best is Embiid.
Embiid.
Sixth best is Kawhi. I got Embiid at 7. I got Trae Young 8, Paul George 9, Jamal Murray 10.
So you got say Arenas?
You can say Jamal Murray and Gilbert Arenas 10 against Gilbert Arenas 10. So you have 10, 1, 10, 1, 10, 1, 4, 10, 1, 4, 5, 6. You have 10, 1, 4, 5, 6. I have 2, 3, 8, 9.
I got 5 matchups.
I'm just counting on my head. I'm counting on my head the list of the 10 best players in the series.
Yeah.
I got the second and third though. Dirk's no pushover, so is Magic. Oh my god, why didn't I think about this? Imagine Dirk playing pick and roll and Embiid playing pick and roll with Trae Young and Magic. Oh.
Magic can't shoot though. Not
at the mid range. Yeah, he can, and he doesn't need to shoot when he's paired with Dirk because Dirk's gonna space. He's gonna pop
3s over 2s.
Yeah, when Dirk's shooting his 3, what are you doing?
But AD's on Dirk though.
I mean, if AD's on Dirk, is he switching on Magic? Or are you letting Magic coming downhill wide open to the rim? You can't have Draymond on.
He's not wide open to the rim.
You can't down there. You can't have Draymond on Magic and have AD on the floor as well.
Yeah, you're right. I have Wilt and I have AD. So AD is going to guard Dirk and then let Magic come downhill. Is he beating Wilt? No.
Yes, he is. On a 2-on-1? 2-on-1 situation. Magic's going to get the right...
Who's the 2? Magic and who else?
Embiid, if he gets to the rim.
Damn. But no, if you have Dirk, then you said you were throwing out. I mean, if you had Embiid, so you're gonna throw out Dirk and Embiid, right?
You're saying you're not switching. So yeah, MJ would be coming downhill, and you would have Magic would come downhill, and you would have Jerry West guarding him, and he'd have Jerry West at his hip because he's running the pick and roll, and then he'd have him at his mercy. If you're not switching, if you're switching, and then I can do work with Dirk on Jerry.
Yeah, but AD's down there. AD's going down. He's guarding.
And this is tough. This is the heck of
AD's guarding Dirk. That becomes your problem. And then I have Wilt. I have Wilt stop everything. Wilt stopping everything. I think I underrate how good my center is. I'm just gonna say it. I win. Okay, now it's up to you to come to the dark side.
It's so tough because Wilt's a top 3 all-time player, but Magic's top 8. Dirk is top 20. Kawhi is top
That's
40. Fair. AD's top 40. Paul George's top 60. Embiid and Embiid's probably top 40. Trae Young's probably going to be top 75 when he's done, at least. Maybe probably top 50, top 45 because he's special. Gilbert Arenas probably doesn't make the list. Jerry West is probably top 35. Kawhi is top 40. Trying to talk to my 80s top 30, top 40 at peak. Bubble years was ridiculous. These teams are so ridiculously evenly matched. It's insane.
Like I said, you can't underrate the center. Because if you can't get past our center, then there's nothing you can do unless you're just going to launch it.
I got plenty of guys.
Everybody's shooting? Is everybody shooting?
Everybody can shoot. I got Magic to get
everybody can shoot, you're right. But is everybody going to shoot is my thing. Is it just going to be just a constant barrage of threes?
Well, I don't
think so.
I have guys that can get to the basket.
But are they getting past Wilt? Is my question.
Yeah, they can dump it off the Embiid. That's the answer.
But is he getting past Wilt? Wilt turns his feet. Embiid's coming at him from this side.
If he gets caught in the air. Past? If he gets caught in a different side.
You think
2 versus 1 situation? So even Wilt's going to be.
I get that, but is Embiid dunking on Wilt? Is that's my question now?
If Wilt is facing to the left, right, to guard the ball, and Embiid's to his completely right side, you pass the ball to Embiid, Wilt's got to completely turn to guard the rim.
Turn around,
yes, Embiid's dunking on him in the situation.
But how I'm seeing it is, they're coming at him straight ahead. But that's not always the case, though. I don't know why, but that's how my mind sees it. My mind sees coming directly straight at Wilt. That's how my mind sees it. I understand that there's other parts of the floor that you could come from, but I just see it coming straight downhill at Wilt. And then you have a 2-on-1 situation. That's a quick 180, and not even a 180. That's a 90-degree turn, and you're at Embiid, who can't do anything anymore. He has to pull it back out, unless he's gonna go up and get blocked and get embarrassed.
We gotta attack his body and try to draw fouls. It is what it is. Nobody's unbeatable.
Of course, it's not unbeatable, but it becomes a problem. Is what I'm getting at. You understand the problem that I'm talking about. I understand the problem that I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And then on the other side, who's guarding him is what becomes the problem. I completely underrated how good he is. He's not just a defender; he's also a scorer.
Yeah, very true.
I win. I'm sorry. We the ones, baby. Go ahead, come to the dark side. It's okay. I won't publish this one. Nobody will know that you lost.
It's not about that.
I know. I know, Jason. I know. Just come to the dark side, my guy. So now we're 33. Come to the dark side. Come to the dark side.
All right, fuck it, you
I
win.
am your fault. Let's go.
I think
We the ones, baby.
I think
We the ones.
I think if you push pace, I think you have too much scoring. I think you have
We the
enough
ones.
scoring to win versus my efficiency. Even if I slow
Give me a
space.
second. I'm about to go Pat Beverly.
Christopher Muhammad has won the.
I'm going Pat Beverly right now when he won the play in.
We both got one ring. We both got one ring officially at
Let's
this.
go. We the ones, baby.
Yes.
We the ones. I told you I wasn't losing.
Yeah, I think you getting
I was like, I'm
Gilbert
not losing
Arenas
this time.
in the 10th round was the steal of the draft.
I wanted Cat. I could have used Cat a lot better than the other guy could have.
I mean, Cat fit really well with MJ and Scotty.
Yeah. This is more shooting for me, though. More shooting, more scoring efficiency. Let's go. We the ones, baby.
Yep,
We the ones.
got the
We the
W.
ones. And if you disagree, go ahead and, in the comments, you know what I
Make your
mean? Talk to
opinions.
us about it.
Make your own opinions. Yeah, it's been
We
a
the ones. I
lot
won.
of fun doing this. Been a lot of fun doing this.
Yeah. I feel like LeBron when he finally won a ring with Miami Heat.
Yeah. It's sad that
Not one, not two, not three.
You know something funny? I'm
What?
pretty certain that last year I had Wilt on my team as well. I had
Yes,
Wilt.
you did. You stole him from
I
me.
had Wilt and Magic Johnson. So I had that
Yep.
combo. It was really tough.
You stole it from me
So
because I
Wilt's got
chose
2
Hakeem
rings.
first, I think it was.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. It's a lot
Alright.
of fun.
We the ones. We the ones.
Christopher Muhammad is the one.
Yeah.
Is there anything else?
I'm happy right now. Nah, man. I hope you guys enjoy listening to this
Mhm.
podcast. We had a lot of fun making it. We had a lot
Yes.
of fun doing the draft. You know what I mean? Come again next year.
It's
It'll
gonna
be
be
fun
fun.
as well. Yeah. Props to Jason though for setting this all up. Sweet 16.
Yeah. All right.
But we the ones, baby.
Yes, sir.
We the ones.
Christopher Muhammad with the W.
Yeah.
Yeah, next week we
On
got
the dub like wit. On the dub.
like Will Chamberlain, the W.
Yeah.
Yeah. Next week we got who is the biggest what if story of all time. It's gonna be a fun podcast. We're really gonna have a few guys on that list. It's gonna be a really good debate. So, we all gonna just have a ton of fun next week. So this was a fun podcast. We appreciate all you guys. Like, subscribe, get the review button, everything like that really helps us. So, we're halfway through the off-season schedule, and that means we're halfway to starting new basketball. And did you hear Chet Holmgren got hurt for the rest of the year?
That's what he get for trying to guard LeBron.
That's crazy, though.
No sympathy.
That poor thin body of his, man. Oh,
It's not gonna be a problem. Okay.
it gets hurt in a pro-am? A pro-am? We're talking about practice? Not a game. A pro-am? A pro-am.
Pro-am, right.
Ooh, listen, Allen Iverson, Chet Holmgren. Jeez. Do your homework.
And Pat Bev signed to the Lakers.
Yeah. I feel like one thing I want to put out to all the basketball addicts out there, go watch the FIBA Olympics, okay? Nikola Jokic and Giannis Antetokounmpo and Luka Doncic are putting on crazy performances. Giannis just dropped like a 40-point bomb for Greece. Like, these teams are dominating these random guys who are playing overseas, and it's so much fun to watch. You want to see some great highlights, some great stuff for great stars overseas, go watch it, because there's plenty of tape to watch out there. Giannis is dominating the sport of basketball so much. That means that's the greatest player in basketball. It's ridiculous. So definitely go watch it. It's a lot of fun.
Giannis said LeBron's still the greatest player of all time. We the ones, baby.
Somebody's got to draft LeBron James next year. Build a good team and win a gosh darn ring for my man. Why can't we get the number 1 pick?
I was going
why
to.
did you choose LeBron James? He deserves the ring, Chris.
I wanted Wilt. I stole Wilt from you.
That's true. Do your job, I guess.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I was, you know what my team was going to be? I chose Wilt first. It was going to be Wilt, Magic, LeBron, Curry, everyone's gonna be a purple and gold. I was gonna have the greatest like passing back team, passing team, playmaking team, shooting, scoring team. Nobody would be able to stop me.
Yep.
But the fact of the matter is that somebody took the next player, and then they started taking Curry, and I was like, well, I gotta go from scratch. I really had to sit and think. I was like, oh man, I have to figure out who I'm gonna choose.
Yeah.
It took me a minute, but I chose Jamal Murray, and that turned out pretty well.
Yeah. Champion right there.
We the ones, baby. We the ones. we the ones, baby.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you guys for listening to the podcast. And I'm Jason Collins.
And I'm Chris Muhammad.
And we're the Best Buds.